All right, folks, welcome to another weekly episode of the Manchester United show. Just shortly after the result there against Hull, where Manchester United have beaten Hull 2-0. I'm joined, of course, with as always with the fantastic Martin Warwick. Martin, how you, man?
Good, Phil, mate. How you doing over there?
Not too bad, pal. Good result against Hull 2-0. Martin, very, very similar to games we saw in the past where United are winning games, struggling to kill teams off, they've been getting a second goal recently. I must say, I think whether United would have scored that second goal or not, United would have beat Hull anyway. But in the second leg, but that second goal wasn't just important for United; it was important for Fellaini too, who deserved it, despite all the criticism he's been taking recently.
Yeah, I had full confidence that we could go to Hull and get a result. It's going to be difficult for a team like that anyway to stop us scoring at their place. So I always thought we could go there and get that away goal. But the thing for United today was putting that game to bed and trying to put it to bed early, kill that tie off, and make sure that when we go over there to their place to maybe perhaps have an opportunity to rest a couple of legs, because obviously we're going to get more and more games here coming thick and fast, and any break we can get for some of these guys is going to be key. But as you said, big goal, big second goal, big goal for Fellaini, thoroughly deserved. Just horrendous abuse. I mean, way over the top abuse from United fans, so-called fans. I'm not going to even call them United fans, to be honest with you. Booing at one of our own at Old Trafford is disgraceful. So happy to see him get that goal. And a great celebration for him to run over to Mourinho there and get a big hug. But what I liked to see was, you saw the substitution with Mata. Mata slowly walking off, Mourinho hurrying him off the field. Jose wants the goals. He wants us to kill these games off. Same when he got the hug from Fellaini. He pushed him away, said, get back on there, let's try and go for the third.
It would have been nice to get that second goal earlier so that you could be rested and prepared for, obviously, what is a big game this weekend. But, Martin, Mkhitaryan didn't have the best game. Once again, United profligate, loads and loads of chances, not taking them. If there is one slight criticism, it would be that United might not get the same ratio of chances this weekend. So you need to be a wee bit more clinical. But that's the best run United have been on for 7.5 years in terms of unbeaten runs. 9 unbeaten now. 9 wins on the
9 wins on the bounce now.
Yeah, 9 wins on the bounce. That's unbelievable. Mourinho's just not getting enough credit.
Well, 9 wins on the bounce, 15 games unbeaten. And I think the difference is, for the first time in a long time, the first time in 3-4 years, maybe even longer, we're consistently beating teams we're meant to beat and beating them comfortably, dominating the game. All right, we're not capitalizing on all the chances we get. We've got to get more clinical in front of goal, because we're not going to get that many chances against the top 6, top 8 teams. But we're consistently now beating those teams that we're supposed to beat. That gives you that little bit of confidence moving forward, gets you in that winning habit, because we know winning is a habit, and we've got it now, and we have that feel-good factor going into that big one on Sunday.
Martin, Mourinho is about to bring United to Wembley in its first competition that he possibly could have done it with United. Pep Guardiola has one of the oldest squads in the Premier League. Mourinho, before he went to Old Trafford, will he play kids? Will Rashford get a chance? Somehow, Guardiola's getting away with not playing kids, despite Man City paying absolutely millions and putting millions in academy fees. Mourinho willing to give young United players a chance, and sitting there, the best run in 7.5 years, 9 wins on the trot at Wembley. I feel like if this was Guardiola, it would be a whole different level of praise.
It still seems like he's the good guy, isn't it? And Jose's the villain in this whole thing. Jose did come in and said it was going to take a little bit of time. It's not his squad. He's still got signings to make it the exact squad that he wants, but he's done a job. He started slowly, figuring out. He's given everybody an opportunity. He's starting to figure out who he can trust, who he can't trust. The team selections reflect that. Hence the reason that Schneiderlin looks like that deal's almost done. But Guardiola seems to get away with murder, to be honest with you. he's starting to find out that this league is not a walk in the park like La Liga and Bundesliga. And I agree, he kind of gets away with it a little bit, but he's starting to get found out. And he kind of, when he needs a win, though, City have managed to get it. So we'll see where we are going forward.
I'll tell you what, Martin. I watched City against Liverpool a couple of weeks ago, and I felt Klopp outcoached them. I was talking with Danny Higginbotham about this, the way Guardiola lined his team up to expect Liverpool to have the high press. Klopp didn't do it, and City didn't know what to do because they had the space. It's going to be a really, really interesting game this weekend. Mourinho went to Liverpool and put in one of probably the most negative performance we've seen from a Mourinho team. But to me, it was such an important game for United not to lose. When United were going through this bad spell, I couldn't afford to lose the game. Took an important point. You're going to see a very different Manchester United this weekend.
Absolutely. And I wonder how Klopp's going to approach it, to be honest with you. I mean, with them being 5 points ahead, they can maybe, are they thinking a draw away with the form we're in? Maybe a point's a good point for them, but we've got to go. I mean, we've won so many games on the bounce here that really could, kick us off even into a higher gear, to be honest. We managed to get 3 points on Sunday, puts us a couple of points behind. And make no mistake about it, I don't care what some of these people have said, we're in the thick of a title race. And who would have thought that a couple of months ago?
Well,
3 months ago.
United are going to get anything from Liverpool this weekend. It's going to be crucial that the left and right back play well, because Liverpool's strength is out wide. Sadio Mane is a terrific player. Firmino, we know, excellent player. So it's going to be really, really important that the left and right back, which will be Valencia most likely, be interesting to see who plays left back.
But Mane's gone through African Cup of Nations.
Oh, that's right, he's away.
That's massive. That is a massive loss for them.
That is big. That is big.
Huge loss for them. But Firmino, absolutely. I mean, our question marks right now are in that left back position. Valencia again, one of the form fullbacks, right backs in Europe for me. Left back is still a little bit of a question mark, isn't it? Darmian's just. Darmian worries me. He's got a mistake in him, and in the modern game and the way Jose wants to play with them fullbacks getting around in a 4-3-3, his delivery is pretty poor. Although he set up Fellaini's goal today.
But at the same token, Martin, for them to get something, their fullbacks will have to play well. I wouldn't trust their fullbacks. I think United, with their width out wide, the way they're playing at the minute with confidence going forward at home, United are always good at home against Liverpool. Not always, but mostly. Mourinho's teams very rarely lose at home. He makes sure whoever he's managing, their home field is a fortress. Can only see United getting a win. This weekend, Schneiderlin agreed to fee. 24 million is good money for Schneiderlin, Martin. It's essentially United getting their money back on him, and it's the right thing to do to let him go.
Yeah, he's clearly not going to figure. And for us to pretty much get our money back minus a couple of million, that's something that we've not seen in quite a while. We've got a habit of just letting our players go for next to nothing. So to almost get our money back for him, having really not kicked a ball for us, let's be honest, handful of appearances in the time at the club, and still a fantastic player. I think he'll do really well there. That might be right at his level, just below that.
Clement knows him.
He knows him very well. Yeah, and just below that top 4, top 6, that could be where he comes into his own. That's why he was so good at Southampton. Clearly not going to play for us. So to move him on and get our money back, it's a bonus and free up them wages.
Fellaini got a goal tonight, Martin. We were talking a little bit earlier about Fellaini and some of the abuse that he's taken, which to me is bemusing how United fans can cheer Bastian Schweinsteiger and everything that he does and boo Marouane Fellaini because. Look, to boo a player because he's not good enough, to me, is contemptible. If you want to boo a player because he doesn't try or whatever, that's fine. But he got a goal tonight. And if you remember what Ryan Giggs said about Fellaini, Giggs said, one of the things about Fellaini, and managers love these types of players, you can send him on to do a job for you, and he'd do exactly what you ask him to do. You can see that Mourinho likes him.
Did it today, didn't he? Brings him on and gets the job done. It was a great header as well, by the way. The level of abuse is poor. I don't get it. it's slightly contradictory for me to sing Jose Mourinho's name followed by booing Marouane Fellaini. Well, the same person you're cheering is the one that keeps picking him. So which one is it? I mean, if Mourinho trusts him, I trust him. Yes, he's made a mistake. No, for me, he's not a Man United player. We can certainly upgrade in that. But if that's the role he's going to play, throw him on late in games to try and do a job, and then fair play to him because he's done it. I mean, it's a massive goal for us. But I can't understand him booing one of our own at Old Trafford.
Martin, this era that we live in, that only appreciates a certain player. Jesse Lingard gets this too, because he doesn't fit some Galactico superstar model of what a player should be. Because somehow if you're not a world-class footballer, you don't belong at Manchester United. Look, Manchester United and every football club around the world has squad players, and not everybody can be someone that it's going to be some superstar. Sometimes you need players like a Jesse Lingard that's a 6 and 7 out of 10 most weeks. Sometimes you need players like Fellaini. Manchester United fans should not be booing their own players unless they do something that deserves that type of behaviour, which is something disloyal to the football club. But I want to address a myth. United fans boo their own players and have done. Okay, Ryan Giggs got booed in the early 90s against Blackburn. Anybody that doesn't think that didn't happen has a short memory. I put a thing up, Martin, on my Twitter page, and I want to address 2 points. I asked, who do people prefer, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer or Wayne Rooney? And it just closed with about 5,000 or 6,000 views, and it was about 51% Wayne Rooney, 49% Solskjaer. But what was interesting in that was you had two very different views. Some people slaughtered me for even asking the question as if it was an insult to Rooney, which was typically the younger fans. The older fans said exactly the same thing to Solskjaer. So I'm going to put you in the spot. Solskjaer or Rooney?
In what regard?
Who would you prefer? If you could pick one player from your team, would you take Solskjaer or Rooney? Now, what I mean by that is you have taken into consideration about what he means to Manchester United.
I guess it depends on the climate, but it depends what team we're going to put him in. Because for me, I mean, you always need a Solskjaer. It'd be hard for me to turn down Solskjaer. Always showed up and scored big goals, big moments in big games. Whether he gave him, we was getting 5 minutes, 20 minutes, 25 minutes, half an hour.
Turned down a move to Tottenham at the prime of his career as well.
Yeah, the loyalty factor obviously is huge. To stay as long as he did with us, being primarily, the super sub. Tough one. I'd take Solskjaer just based on that goal.
This is a short show. We're going to do a longer one after the match against Liverpool. I want to address another point because this needs to be said. If I'm going to say something that is going to happen, I will tell you it's going to happen. If I'm going to say something that this is my opinion based on what other people have written, that doesn't mean I have any particular confidence in the outcome of something. So could you please stop quoting me on Twitter and saying that I said this player's definitely going to go here, definitely going to go here, definitely going to go here? Well, I didn't say it. Right? Let me make this absolutely clear. The only player I can say that I know anything about with any degree of confidence is Griezmann. The rest, I don't know. Lindelof was based on people who do know. Duncan Castles knows. Duncan Castles close to the people that do know. One of the most informed people out there. Other people know and they don't say anything. There's other connected people on Twitter who don't tweet about this type of thing because they can't, but I'm not going to give those accounts away. But there's people out there that do know. So Lindelof, I don't know if he's going to come or not. I don't know.
All we can base, our transfer talk. What we base our transfer talk on is people in the know and continually reliable sources who talk about these things.
Martin.
I mean, but then, like you say, we get quoted as saying, "Look, we don't know."
Look, I've been working in football now for close to 10 years, and in the 10 years that I've worked in football, I've been able to develop friendships, relationships with individuals that work in the sport for a living. Agents, players, reps, players, ex-players, and every once in a while I get information related to certain people, and I'm confident on that information, that source. And maybe throughout the year, I will tweet three or four transfers that I'm confident of, and most of them come off. But I don't. Most of it I don't know because Manchester United aren't telling anybody. Manchester United have become much better at making sure people don't find out directly from the football club. Every once in a while, certainly Woodward hasn't done it recently, and so usually that information is coming from people that are connected to an individual but aren't connected to uh, the idea, the possibility that I'm getting someone that's connected to Griezmann but also connected to Lindelof and connected to Semedo and everything else, not high. So please, just if you want to quote me, quote what I actually said.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Moving forward here, Sunday. I mean, we saw Rooney withdrawn on the hour. We saw Mata withdrawn on 70 minutes, followed by Mkhitaryan. I think you can read something into that. Obviously, Zlatan missing tonight through apparently illness. So I'm thinking Rooney gets withdrawn on 60 minutes as a precaution, just in case Zlatan doesn't recover. But I think you can pretty much read into it that Zlatan starts. And for me, Mata has to play. Again, a big goal at a big time in a big game. The guy just scores big goals when we need them.
Ibrahimovic will start unless he's seriously ill. I will say this. I think with the Man City game when Mourinho risked Mkhitaryan, he won't be quick to risk others. It doesn't like losing big games. It doesn't like losing games with other big games, of course. And Mourinho hates Liverpool. Liverpool hate him. So that's going to be a game he'll be desperate to win. I'm looking forward to, on this channel tomorrow, I will be hosting a debate here tomorrow between a United fan representative, Stephen Howson, and Liverpool fan representative, Gareth Roberts from the Anfield Rap. Look, I've got loads of feedback on this. Some people don't like Stephen, some people do. This is a thankless task to be a fan voice because he's clueless, don't have him or whatever. Stephen's a good lad. Right? If you don't like him, that's up to you. But I'm happy to have him on here, and I'm looking forward to that debate. So it's going to be some spiky questions between United and Liverpool fans, and which will highlight the rivalry between the two clubs and get an insight into how Liverpool fans are looking ahead to this game.
It's going to be a good one. Looking forward to it, and let's see. Like you said, we're just trying to get voices. We want an honest voice from honest fans, and if we can spark a little bit of debate and get a little insight as to why they feel the way they do, why United fans feel the way they do, and what is it that really gets under their skin, and to get it from the fans' voice is what we want, and spark a little bit of debate.
Yeah, United have also said they're going to give me Nicky Butt as soon as they announce the under 23 coach. So we're bringing in Nicky Butt on here. We'll get an insight into United's academy. Also, we will this weekend. Paul Bright will be coming on. Paul Bright was United Academy coach for 12 years. 9 coaches in the US, running the coaching manual. Work with players like Rashford, Jesse Lingard, lots of the young academy graduates. Callum Gribben. I'm going to be fascinated, Martin, to get his insight into what we're going to do an academy feature every week.
Yeah, exactly.
And we'll get him to come on and discuss it. So
it's going to be very interesting because he brought up a couple of names to you and I that
about who to look out for. That's coming.
Maybe a lot of fans won't have heard of, but he swears by are potentially bigger than the ones we do know about.
Yeah,
so
there's a couple of lads. Yeah, Paul's going to come on and talk about a couple of lads that are under 16 and below, who United are looking at right now and saying these are the talents that we think are going to form Manchester United squad for the next 5 or 6 years. Really interesting. So, all right, Martino, I know you've got to run, folks. I will see you tomorrow for the United Liverpool discussion. Looking forward to that. And then, of course, this weekend we'll do our full show after the United Liverpool game on the Sunday. And so please tune in. Thanks for all the subscriptions. Thanks for all the feedback, positive, negative. I don't care if you don't like it. Just don't get personal. So thanks for all the feedback, folks.
Thanks, everybody, and we will see you hopefully after another United victory on Sunday afternoon.
Yes. Well, I will see you tomorrow on here. Tomorrow, right after the Liverpool Southampton game. So stay with us. Cheers, Matteo.
See you later, mate.
See you, mate.